This is your stimulus check update, your second stimulus check update and stimulus package update for Wednesday, May 20th. First, we're going to talk about the new stimulus debit cards, why you might get this instead of a paper check. Then we'll cover new updates regarding the next stimulus package, the HEREOS Act, and where the Senate stands on it. Lastly, we'll go over new financial and economic news, along with a timeline for when we could potentially see more stimulus passed. According to the U.S. Department of the Treasury, 4 million Americans will receive their stimulus payment by prepaid debit card instead of a paper check. Which is interesting because you wonder, why are they doing this? Wouldn't it be easier to just continue sending out paper checks? Well, yes, unless the government is testing out a new way to get more payments out in the future. They are calling this the EIP, Economic Impact Payment Card. Recipients are getting the $1,200 stimulus payment from the CARES Act. EIP card recipients can make purchases, get cash from in-network ATMs, transfer funds to their personal bank account, check their balance online, and they will receive consumer protection against fraud. EIP cards are being distributed to qualified individuals without banking information on file with the IRS, and whose tax returns were processed by either the Andover or Austin IRS Service Center. That's Massachusetts and Texas, so very interesting. New numbers show us that 140 million Americans have received their first payment, either by direct deposit, direct express cards, paper check, and now the EIP card is a new method to provide money efficiently and securely to eligible recipients and their families. It is important to note that there is nothing here that suggests that there's going to be more stimulus payments in the future. You can tell that they are thinking about it, because why else would they go through the trouble of putting something like this together? So here's the new website. Start using your EIP card. An economic impact payment card contains money that you are receiving as a result of the CARES Act. The EIP card is sponsored by the Treasury Department's Bureau of Fiscal Service as a part of the U.S. debit card program. Now that you've received the card, here's how to activate it and start using it. I'll go ahead and link the website down below, but this is fascinating. Will the Treasury Department be able to see how I spend my economic impact payment? So moving on, the next step for the Republicans and Democrats for the next stimulus package is to negotiate what needs to be added to it and what needs to be taken away. It is very clear that passing another stimulus package is not a top priority of the Republicans right now. The Senate gets to go on break for a few days once Memorial Day rolls around. Based on that, it appears that we are not going to get anything passed in terms of more stimulus this month, but we're going to talk about later in this video when we potentially could see something getting passed. The Republicans have been continuing to push a wait-and-see approach, and there are pros and cons to both sides of the argument. I think it is important to assess the impact of previous packages in order for the next one to be as effective as possible. However, on the other side of the argument, we have the American people who are asking Congress, like, we need money now, they're struggling. We see businesses are filing for bankruptcy. Over 30 million people are currently jobless. We find ourselves in a time of reopening, which is good for business. People are getting called back to work. The Republicans are predicting a fast economic recovery, but currently we don't have enough data to support that. In the next package, Republicans have made it very clear that they want a strong incentive to get people back to work. And there are a few ways that have been discussed. One of them is through a payroll tax cut, and the other is through a HEREOS fund for essential workers. And both of these options are providing benefit to people who are working. In other news, the IRS has now added 3,500 phone operators to answer your stimulus questions. Now, prepare for long wait times. I'm sure they're getting slammed. In the meantime, feel free to leave a comment down below if you have any questions, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. I'll also leave that phone number in the description of this video. As far as the timeline goes for when we could potentially see a second stimulus check, as I mentioned before, the Senate is not moving too urgently to pass another package. Early to mid-June seems to be the earliest that the HEROES Act could get passed. Of course, there's going to be some revisions and there's going to be a lot more back and forth going on, which means that the earliest we could possibly see a second stimulus check would be late June or early July, but this is all speculation. I will continue to provide more updates. Thank you so much for watching this video. I can't wait to see you in the next one. Peace.